What's up, guys? Steve Schramm here. The channel here is Funnel Talk. I help you build high converting sales funnels using WordPress. Appreciate you joining us. So, how do you actually serve a lead magnet? Now, if you've spent any time doing online marketing, online business at all, which is the majority of the people that we work with in my business, Northmax Services, um, you know that you need to be serving a lead magnet. Okay, a lead magnet, of course, is just some sort of bait, frankly, that is going to attract your target customer, right? Attracting a target customer is a lot like fishing. You need a bait that is going to be interesting to them. Okay. And so that bait usually comes in the form of what we call a lead magnet. Now, that could be a video, it could be a PDF resource, it could be a ebook, it could be an email sequence, a lot of different things. One of the questions that comes up is where do I actually serve that from? Where do I store that? How do I deliver it to them, etc. So what we're going to cover is just one small piece of that puzzle today. I want to give you three options for where you can actually store your lead magnet and serve that from to make sure that it's getting out to your customers. All right. So the first place that you might look at doing this from would just simply be your website. Okay. If you're using WordPress, which is what all of our clients use and what I recommend you use, if you're using WordPress, then there's absolutely no reason why you can't just serve it from the website, assuming it's a smaller resource. If we're talking about a PDF or something like that, then you could honestly just serve it from your website to save from having to create accounts in other places. It might just be the easiest thing for you. Okay. So you would just go right here to your media library inside of WordPress, and you would just choose to add a new image or a new file and then upload it here. Now, some files you're not going to be able to upload into the backend of WordPress, but PDFs will work just fine. As you can see, maybe here, CSVs will work just fine. Even MP4 videos will work just fine. However, if you're going to go video, I would recommend that you use a different resource. So this is probably good if you're talking about something, file based like a PDF or a text file or something like that. Obviously, if your lead magnet is an email, you're going to send that via email software like Fluent CRM or MailChimp or ConvertKit. But if we're talking about a PDF deliverable, you could do it right from your website. Now, the downside to that is without getting into additional plugins and things, there's no real great way to lock that content down only for certain people. So theoretically, if somebody got this URL, they could very easily go back to it and access it again in the future. Now, the second place that I would recommend you checking out is called bunny.net. Now, bunny.net is a CDN, but it's also a storage utility. There are two primary ways to sort of store your data on here for access, and that would be via the storage and then via the stream. So if you're doing video content, you could go right here to stream. And what will happen is as you create a new video library here, you can actually create it so that the data is only really accessed as it's being streamed from your platform here in Bunny. So what you would do is you would come right here to create a new video library. You would give your video library a name, my video library. Then you'd come down here and choose your storage zones. Where I'm at by default, it's got US East, US West, and Asia. Selected, and it tells me what my monthly storage cost is going to be for that. And then I will just come right here and say add video library. Okay, now you'll see it's in my list of video libraries, and I can click right here to say my video library, and I've not uploaded any videos yet. So what I could do is come right here and upload videos, drag them right in there. It would bring them in. I could even create folder collections if I want to. And then just to kind of show you what this looks like, if I go here to another one that I have set up, we're going to call this we're going to go to my webinars one and take a look at that. You'll see I have a video loaded in here for a webinar. And if we click on that, I have a lot of things that I can do. I can get a direct play URL. I can play it right here, see what that looks like. I can come down here and get the embed code. I can even add captions and chapters if I want to. Lots of options. I can download it straight from here. And if I go here, I can even customize the player and go right here and I can say, yeah, we do want to include maybe different sorts of settings, right? I can actually disable the progress bar, for example, if I want to. So very, very neat how many different options that you get, especially if you're using video. In fact, Bunny.net is primarily the tool that I would recommend if you're going to be serving video as your lead magnet. And lots of research that you can go into and do and things to check out with InBunny. This is not a comprehensive overview, but I have used it successfully for some of my lead magnets and especially my video based ones. And I really like it. Okay, the third and final one that I want to sort of show you here is Amazon AWS. So this is what the dashboard looks like if we get right when we get logged in here. Now, AWS is a great platform, one of the biggest and best, frankly, in the business. And so this is where you're going to look in a lot of cases for protecting your content. Now, if we go here to services, out of this list, you can sort of select what you need. What you really need in this case here is S3, Amazon S3. Okay, this is their storage platform. And so, as you can see, S3 scalable storage in the cloud. I recently visited it, so that's why it's showing up here for me. But you can always just come right here and search for S3. I think that's the easiest way to do it. And this is what you've got. Okay. So the top features are buckets, access points, and batch operations. Buckets are the thing that we're primarily concerned with here. So if we click on S3, it'll sort of bring us into this. It'll give us a list of our buckets. And what we could do is simply say, create bucket. So we create a bucket. We give the bucket a name, my lead magnet bucket, for example. And we go through some of these settings here. Most of these you can just leave by default. What it is going to do, though, by default is block public access settings. Okay. So you can get pretty granular and detailed here. To be honest, probably a lot more granular and detailed than I have in the past with security and access control settings. So if you uncheck block all public access, what you can actually do is come here and say, well, what I want to do is just provide access to specific access control lists that I go in and create. And certainly you can do that. For right now, I'm just going to leave it set as not blocking any public access so that people could access it publicly. This is really not a huge issue. I mean, protecting this lead magnet content, I mean, what's the worst case scenario? Somebody sends it out to other people and now a lot of people are introduced to your brand without giving your email address. Well, sure, maybe you did want their email address, but isn't it like just fine that now they have information about you? So, I do think in this self-service digital age that we're living in, sometimes, it's better for the thing just to get out there than to necessarily collect the email address. And that almost hurts to say as a direct response focused, digital marketer. But I do think it is true that that's how people are buying, and we don't get to dictate that or control that or change that. So it's something that we need to think about. Okay, we can enable, disable versioning, etc. Okay, we're going to create bucket. And it's mad because, the bucket must not contain uppercase characters. Okay, so I'm just going to do this lead mag bucket. Okay, and we'll say create bucket. And now what's bad here? Okay, yes, I acknowledge that they might result in this bucket and the objects within becoming public. Absolutely, we have to acknowledge that. And there we go. Successfully create a lead mag bucket. So now I could go in here. So from this point, all you have to do is upload your files in, and then you get a link to those files, and then you can paste that link wherever it is in your emails or wherever that you're actually using to deliver the lead magnet content. So I hope this has been useful and valuable for you. Just a very specific answer to a question that I get from time to time: how to actually store your lead magnet. And hope this has been useful for you. All right. God bless you guys. Take care. We'll see you in the next video right here on Funnel Talk.